finally. Anyway. We couldn't get our fifth player in. So Popov will be playing this one as a substitute. Very unfortunate there, but it seems like Ships couldn't get his ship into port.
It's a shame, one of the better players. Could have used him. Rainwaker, though, trying to make good, where his teammate cannot. Frags, though, fly in their direction. And the coach, Mike, he's on the board.
The coach. A manager. That's all you need, right? Getting one in the pistol round. You're like, all right, I've done my work, guys. I got us the pistol. Everybody else, you're going to have to win everything else. 2 for the coach. All right, pop off.
I'm Sashi, I'm nervous.
Should be. This is your pick. This is your map. And you didn't realize that them bringing in the coach was apparently bringing in the king.
Second round forced without plants. If teams go in for this, we like to see a plan. We like to see a set round. Don't just buy the Tech 9 and all the util for no reason. Let's run a set play.
Upper hit. It's got to be. Look at all this util. Yeah. Ooh, good counter molly, but here comes the second wave. Here comes the util. They're flooding it in. It might be a distraction to go towards ramp, but no, it does seem like they're going to get out. Iceberg goes down early, and that has rebuffed them. They're headed towards ramp instead. Rainmaker trying to stall this out, but he's been overwhelmed. Cirque is here in hell. Gets the one. Keeps Rainmaker fighting as well behind the orange box, but now Rainmaker is just trying to stall for his teammates to get there, and he does a beautiful job of it.
Is it just me, or did that set play feel like it had too many elements?
I think
if one fails, it all falls apart.
I think that was fully intended to be an upper pop, and they messed up. And I'm unclear why they messed up exactly, whether it's that the util didn't come out fast enough for them to just hit, or whether it's that they didn't anticipate the counter molly and have a smoke for it. But that looked, with 5 techies like that, to me, that is, we're hitting A, come hell or high water, and high water hit, and they said, you know what, actually ramp looks nice this time of year.
At a heavy price. And then to invest all that money and not take many guns away.
5 deagles.
I mean, considering 500 might have even thought they weren't playing this series 5 minutes ago. They're feeling a hell of a lot better now.
Certainly. Deco not off to a good start. This is the truest Deco. You don't see a Deco like this very often. But all techs gonna show why. You don't see it very often because it's very tough to make it work with no armor, no util, no life. Come on, Siphon.
Also, why not just have one player buy flashbangs?
Because then it's not a true Deco. Ruins the aesthetic here.
Sorry. Because that's what matters most.
You gotta aura
Counter-Strike.
That's what the kids are saying.
What have you got, Sashi? What have you got for us? Because one aspect we didn't touch too much on in the pre-game is, you know, in the absence of other Danish teams, Gaming Gladiators, obviously Heroic is far from Danish at the moment. There's a big void for that number 2 team. On paper, it's Sashi, but we want a little bit more before we call them, you know, cemented second best in Denmark. Or at least for it to mean what it used to mean.
I'm trying to think of who that even is at this point. Danish CS has not been in a good way lately.
This feels so flat from Sashi. They really haven't got anything going on any of these rounds yet.
No, yeah, it's been pretty lackluster. Drop in towards the mini. That's heard and dealt with. Popov is just flawless so far. I mean, they've got him playing outside rifle.
Let's go.
Why is this guy not in the server on a regular basis? All right, finally he dies. but it's so comfortable, and he's got the info on the last. That was beautiful play from the coach, the manager.
Do you think Ships is getting nervous about his spot on the squad?
I mean, I would be. Time to promote yourself.
Oh, if he has a great game, it's such, as a coach, it'd be such excellent firepower for later disputes, later arguments.
Yeah, anytime someone's like, I don't think we should do this, you're like, I'm gonna take your spot.
Well,
keep acting up. I'll take your spot.
But like children, their favorite thing to say would be like, "Well, why didn't you do it? If it's that easy?" And it's like, I can.
Looking at Popov's career as a player before transitioning to a coach, he's been coaching since the back half of 2023. Not really notable teams here: RGW, Oreo Thunders, Endangered, Linkdown. Not notable squads. But apparently, the man can shoot. This round, it doesn't go so well. Oxygen gets 2. That makes it a little more comfortable. And Cirque up top. That's a nice swing from SPELLAN. The op providing him the space that he needed. And Cirque will seal the deal here. 5-0 start for 500. Yeah. Reminder that this is Sashi's map pick. It is Nuke. But we just really haven't seen much to give us optimism here from this Sashi squad.
They've got... I mean, Rainwaker has as many kills as Sashi right now, so...
That's troubling.
And a heck of a lot less deaths. So... I mean, obviously, Sashi's pick. We know they have some tenure, at least, with the majority of this lineup in the past. Expect a little bit more. They look pretty rusty. Zyphon shooting earlier looked like a player that had been sat around for 25 minutes waiting for a game to go live. So... time to get the ball rolling, or this could be a very quick game of Nuke. Because that's more like it. Now we're on the board.
That's ambitious from Rainwaker. Dry peeking into the vending machines, finding not a candy bar, but a bullet. A little too much lead in that to be serving to the public. Oh, Oxygen's getting cheeky. And, oh, no, the timing for Altex. Oxygen's so low. He was just playing to be traded by his teammate, by SPELLAN, and instead gets away with one. Clearing towards the garage. That's nice. So Popov not necessarily having the easy breezy time he was before. Spot on to Cirque's peeking this? Cirque's peeking this. Notice he's got a player heading into the corner. Didn't want to let him out. But at this point, Sashi have a ton of space. There's only 45 seconds, so they have to decide what they're doing with this bomb. Lucky's bringing it around outside, but there's still some questions. They have a player into secret. Do you go secret? Do you link up to go mini? Cabby's stuck. They've got lobby control for 500, but Cabby's still a problem. And now with Oxygen being as low as he is, you can really go wherever you want. 25 seconds. Can Oxygen disrupt this? He can! They're not checking for him! Lucky isn't looking! And now, I mean, they have to plant this bomb. That's the problem. It has to occupy one of the player's hands. And that sets up Cirque. Oh, but he can't deliver. Had the right idea. Take the fight with the mini player while that bomb's being planted. But it just doesn't quite come to fruition.
Might regret not using his damaging util. He might have been able to kill the planter. But, easier said than done, of course. You have the hindsight and the oversight and the x-ray and all that jazz, so can't blame him. Sashi get on the board, but it was ugly. Oxygen on 9 HP gets 2 kills, and Sashi were handed a bit of a freebie of an opener that we don't expect again. Far from it. Iceberg already dead. Ugh. Back in the dirt.
Or are we? Altex low, though. Popov getting dropped upon. He's in this smoke. It's a little bit chaotic. He doesn't realize iPhone's gotten past him. This is very unfortunate. Now we're seeing some of the issues with having potentially a stand-in coming into play, right? Just that awareness to realize what was going on around you. I don't think Zyphon was doing that quiet either, so we're just misreading the audio cues a little bit. Still, Rainmaker has been nuts. Certainly has been pretty dang good himself. That's a prayer of an HE. And he catches some damage back in turn. This should probably be a save. AK found. T-side Molly. That makes the save a little sweeter.
It seems like Popov is playing outer.
Yeah.
was in mini this round. My educated guess would be that Ships plays that position. Would make sense, and they've gone for a straight swap. But that is a very demanding, cerebrally and mechanical position. Going to make a lot of good decisions. It's not necessarily going to be the easiest for him to play. Far from it. I think I'd play a lot of Cirque Outer, I think, if I was 500. I wouldn't leave Pop-Off alone.
All right, nice shot over the smoke. Sashi settling down very nicely here. Finding that antidote to the coach outside, and it seems to have just completely changed their fortunes. Iceberg manages to get down secret as well. I don't believe he was spotted in the slightest. The smoke fades were perfect. So he's got all lower.
500 will need to gamble anyway, won't they? And I think even if they have an inkling a player could be lower, it kind of needs to keep the numbers in one place.
All takes us ahead of the smoke. Never mind. Comes back to him. Thought about going for it.
So when does Iceberg come into play? He's just kind of sat around waiting at the moment. Do his teammates, pressure inner or?
I mean, if he finds no one down here, they could just vent drop. But it seems like he's coming back up top. So seems like A is the intention here. We really haven't seen a lot of lower play out from the Sashi team, and it's not going to change right now. Start crosshair a little high. Gabby punishes. Oxygen gets to the third. Found as well. Oxygen giving them breath, giving them life in this moment. Nade might finish this player off as well. Iceberg down to 1 HP. The bomb has made its way down. So we are going to get that lower plant. But Lucky, who has not been able to get on the board at all, is now the lone man to defend
The ace is on, man. It's on.
He could have it. Lucky's going to come here. Can't miss this shot. Can't miss this shot. He won't. Ace denied. Now can Lucky secure the clutch. Back into the rat hole he goes. All about this first bullet. SPELLAN not looking the right way initially. Lucky will have it. What a way to get your first 2 kills.
Yeah, aptly named, I think, for Sashi in that round. I'm not sure they deserve to win that one, Mike. It was really slow once they got the man advantage, and they committed into the one place where 500 had loaded. I know Oxygen, it is a tremendous highlight play, third kill especially, but Sashi didn't make their lives easy. It was anywhere else on the map, frankly, would have been easier than hitting in right then. So hopefully they'll learn their lesson. Get a little bit less passive, a little bit less reserved. But nevertheless, it's a round, and it's a bit of a backbreaker. Look at the money for the Bulgarians. It is pretty well shot. They'll have to eco.
Oh? Ecos look a whole lot better when you deke a player in the head right off rip.
He's pushed Hut. That kill's out the back of the lobby.
Yeah, he has indeed. Getting cheeky with it. Iceberg's low. I've got a lot of control outside is the problem. You can see 500 is just hoping that they get persuaded to go down secret right now. This is the trap. Provided they don't go down secret, this should be an easy round. It's just Popov with a USP to hold them off the A site. They're taking control in towards heaven. As soon as Zyphon gets around this, that should be all said and done. Though saying that, Oxygen has come back up top. They're on a mission to retrieve this gun. If Popov went all the way around, actually, Iceberg was playing very late with this op. There was a chance to catch him off on the flank. This could get weird. Tough task for Oxygen. Flashbang's over, starving him of it. Oh my god, how's he done this? 2 deep shots, 2 headshots, and Popov to follow it up. Now it's just a wounded Opper. 20 seconds on the clock, and he doesn't even have an appetite for this. He's saving Alan. How on earth has this come to pass? How on
He is
earth?
life. Yeah, he is life sustaining, this man. That is unbelievable. I mean, to follow up the previous round with that. He's got so many kills in the last few rounds. Rainwaker was topping the board comfortably for his team, and now Oxygen's up to 15.
Insane. Actually insane. We didn't see it from his perspective. You can't blame the obs for that. Expected the hit to come in. He should have been, I mean, even blind. I just don't know how he's done it. The mind, it boggles. Now they're going for a fast upper hit. A little bit of desperation, perhaps seeping in. SPELLAN next with the MP9. And I thought this was event dive, but they haven't actually managed to get anyone down. So if that was the intention, not so successful.
This feels rough now for Sashi. Gamble was this investment, and they're already a man to the lesser. Oxygen, frankly, looks invincible at the moment. You obviously can't save. I mean, you've got barely any nades. You've got a Tech 9 on the server. But what move can you make? Go ramp and try and traverse Rainwaker? You've got no util. I guess try and save the smokes for lower. At the moment, they're spreading the forces. I'd almost think I'd prefer them to keep it simple. There's a lot of moving parts here.
There's been a bit of that here for Sashi. Lack of a smoke at this point as well. They spent everything they had to try and get Cabby the space outside. So you got a flash and a molly to make this happen. It's just going to be, this flash better be very good onto Rainwaker. And actually, the flash is outside, so they don't even have it. So they are dry peeking Rainwaker. It will be a trade. Not the worst thing in the world. And Cabby now has control of the vents. So 500, the reticence to rotate has caused problems here. This bomb's going to be planted. Okay, unless Cabby gets absolutely deleted on the vent drop. And now the retake is a whole lot easier to imagine. Got the pinch from both sides. Players coming ramp, players coming single door. Just Xiphon, and wow, they did not waste any time about that, Alan.
We were gearing up to criticize them for giving all that space and being forced into a retake when they didn't need to, but wow. Absolutely flawless. Absolutely flawless. Sashi's going to lose this map, man. At the rate they're going, they haven't found much success. That round was a Hail Mary. Didn't work. This T side looks uninspired. Uninspired, and yeah. Danish team picking Nuke. That used to mean something. I'm just sat here looking at this 500 team and thinking, if Oxygen can be the best or one of the best players on this team, it changes the dynamics so much.
Here's the question. Do you think? Because that... Okay, nice op shot from Cirque. We'll see if this can get interesting at all. For now, it's an eco. Cirque's looking good with it. Xiphon, a little bit of juice, but not much. They might be able to get down. SPELLAN's going to try and deny this bomb plant, but this should be a plant secured and a retake again. I don't know if 500 are too fussed about it at this point. Hasn't really changed the fortunes of Sashi. Alright, we do have to consider this retake, so I'll get to my story arc in a moment. Baltics is a bit of a cheeky spot. I don't think they realize that they've gone all the way around. This is very clever. Oh, these single door players are not prepared to be flanked. And it doesn't matter. Okay, so back to the point. We've seen the arc of 500 and every other Bulgarian roster that's come through, right? And it's a similar arc for a lot of teams that come from small countries and regions, where you have one player who rises above the rest, who appears to be the tip of that squad, and then somebody comes looking to see if they can find that next talented player. It happened with Cirque going to North America, going to NRG. It happened with Rainwaker going to Liquid. It's had mixed results. Cirque, you gotta say it was a success. Sustained enough success for long enough. Absolutely worth the trip. Rainwaker, maybe not so much. So knowing that, what do you think the conversation is for a guy like Oxygen? Because potentially that next guy up, where somebody's going to come looking for it to see if he's ready to move to an international project.
True. But equally, if you're 500, if you're those players, you can't live in that, in the fear of that, can you? You have to exist in the moment and make the best of it.
Oh boy. Okay. Making the best of that moment.
Yeah, good opener. Of course, we have some questions about Popov's kind of experience or being comfortable in this position on outer, and he's got to be the most exposed piece for this team.
But then you have oxygen, so that makes up for it, apparently. Now everybody's just blowing out the hut. Everyone's here to defend. The lineup's not great, but it is for Kabi. And a little bit of sweetness there for Sashi sends us to the halftime.
You feel like something new. You feel like something. You feel like something new. You feel like something. Don't just stop it. Doing what you do. When I lay back, holding on to you. Ooh, ooh, feel like something new. Here on overload, all my body is for you to hold. Ooh, 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 feel like something new. Yeah. And I never thought that you got me wanting. Never thought that
And we're back and in the action here. It was a very strong first half for 500, especially considering the fact that they have a stand-in. But Sashi have just enough to make a game of this. Pissed around to make life a lot easier. And Lucky is going to do his part to try and secure it. Oh, Lucky looking nice. Just dueling outside here. Down to 1 HP, but it's all Sashi so far. Cirque will change that. But he needs to change a whole lot more if they're actually going to contend here.
Somewhat a fun dynamic as well at the moment. We already know that Ships is ready to play map 2. So if 500 could steal this map, then they have their full lineup for their own map pick. This is survival for Sashi. You have to make good on this situation. You gotta win your own map.
You gotta.
When the coach is on the server.
Yeah, you gotta. Right? It's just hard to be optimistic about them if they can't secure it here. It is Mirage in the next, which is kind of the neutral territory for a lot of teams. But we know 500 love a bit of Mirage. They've been very good at it lately.
I have nightmares, Mike, about playing Bulgarian teams on Mirage. I am scarred by what they did.
Well, you're going to have to relive some of that trauma. Because we are going to watch Mirage one way or another. No way to avoid that. But
if you're telling me the endpoint we're playing next. God.
I don't
need that.
Challenger League this season, the real question.
I think
The answer is no. They need the Hender effect. Save them, Alan. Get the Hender helping hand. Ooh, bomb plant. SPELLAN. Punching those numbers. He's got it. Money secured.
It's honestly a result, given the situation.
Not bad at
Intrigued
all.
to see if they're going to force behind this.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll give you 10-1 odds on it right now.
I don't think they will. I think they'll save and getting AKs and full util in the following. An auction seems to be implying that.
Oh, they're doing it. They're actually doing it. All right. Never mind. Glad you didn't take my my offer.
Okay, the Zeus
Circus
is out.
Zeus. Okay, yeah. What are we doing?
T-side Zeus.
That's a toughie. Vent drop is usually the technique, but then why don't you just knife? Where's Cirque going with it? He is, in fact, by Squeak. Or no, he's up top. He's going to drop Mini on them? Oh my god, it's worked! Cirque, you madman! You lunatic! This is why we love him. This is why we love him. Psychological damage of the Zeus rings out. They may not be winning this round, but they're winning the mind game. And isn't that more important?
Winning the fans over too. That was tremendous. Wow. We're sat here trying to join the pieces. Cirque's already a step ahead, flying over. Unleashes lightning onto the Danes. A bit of a shame if his teammates can't find any more frags. Give him the opener. But, gonna be difficult. Indeed it is. 4 alive, so not too bad in the end for the Danish squad.
Moral
But now we're
victory,
getting
though.
into the meat and the potatoes. Here we go,
Moral-
guns out.
Moral victory for Cirque.
Absolutely.
I want to just see more oxygen. 19 and 8, man, was unreal towards the tail end of that first half. Give me more. Working on our outside lineups. Cirque finds the one he's supposed to throw. It is the slightly deeper smoke wall, looks like. They're not going behind it, though. Popov was thinking about it, but he's thinking better of it. Looks like they want to go for the ramp hitter.
I'm not sure Sashi's going to rotate. They've used a lot of HEs to break these smokes. They're fairly well positioned. Cabby's playing an off angle behind the boxes in ramp. Does he get a good catch?
I think.
Ooh, yes,
They
such
know.
a tough fight. So tough.
You're counting on the element of surprise for it, and right now Iceberg is the only one who could do anything about this lower take. Molotov to force him forward. He does get the kill, though. It's going to make him uncomfortable about this plant, but the swing, keeping the threat of him alive, might have held him off this bomb plant as it is. Cirque gets the numbers punched in, and now, Zyphon's just giving up footsteps here by the shutter. So Altex needs to create space for him. He's found the first. SPELLAN gives Zyphon the slip, leaving his teammate out to die. But if he can secure the round, it's all worth it. He spotted one. Oh, but he's not able to zero in the kill. Nice play from Altex. Big round from the young gun.
Huge round. Huge round. They're like it had all fallen apart when they lose 2 on ramp. I mean, that should have been almost a slam dunk round for the Bulgarians. That's a bit of a disaster. Sashi did so much right there with collecting information on Outer. They knew that it wasn't players through secret. pretty sure they would have known that nobody was down the vents as well. With a different ramp setup, I think that round would never have got to the late stages. So, doing a lot of things right. A bit of tweaking required. And 500 have decided. It's a pretty heavy force by Rainwaker's all the way in. Plenty invested. They want to break the money here and now. We've got a few seconds. They're waiting for the smoke on Squeaky. And that is bad news. Iceberg finds a kill through said smoke. And pushes on his low HP. Oxygen has no idea. Oh, whatever plan 500 had. First spot by the util. Now the players haven't got close to running what they wanted.
No, not at all. Not at all. Not even in the vicinity. And now SPELLAN last to be cleaned up. So, now we're seeing the plan come together for Sashi. We're all evened up. They just had to survive, get enough in the first half, and, well, life's looking a lot better here on Nuke.
Let's see what that investment in the previous has done to this buy for 500. I think they'll be okay.
They'll be fine.
Okay, yeah, one Galil out. It's better
kind
than I
of hilarious that Popov isn't the guy who takes the Galil.
He's got as many kills as Rainwaker. He's got more than SPELLAN.
He does. He does. Actually, crazy that Rainwaker is 9-9 right now. He started out like 7-1. He has just done very little for impact.
7-0.
This round's gonna look a lot better, though Rainwaker, well, only gets the tune of 1. Can't keep himself up off that even scoreline, and now it's falling apart. Cirque was supposed to be the lurk, the late round player, and instead, well, he's got to clutch it all up. Still got plenty of time. Minute 15. He can wrap all the way to heaven, which seems to be what he's going to do. But they're wrapping. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Wraps on wraps on wraps. They've gone in for the lobby control. He's going in towards heaven. Let's ring around the rosy here. But whose pockets will be full of posies? They've gone back in the lobby.
A nightmare. Such a horrid position. And he's going to make noise. It's really well played from Sashi. And they get their noise cue, just play together. Even time will make this really difficult for Cirque to plant. So let's see.
It's one of those where if you had a smoke, life would be so much easier. But you don't, so there's no sense speaking about hypotheticals. You're just going to have to spray down too. And woof, lucky into the angle will not give him the chance.
They look warmed up now, do Sashi. There are not many gaps on this defense. I like how they're playing. Also, I love the conviction of they just won't rotate at all. They're just totally convinced that it's not going to be lower every single round. Of course, if 500 clock on, maybe they can use that to their advantage. But for the moment, their stubbornness is reaping rewards. And yet again, we're looking at these buys from 500 and saying, you know, it's all well and good trying to apply economic pressure, but you can't win any of these rounds. I'm not sure the investment's worth it.
Oh boy. Good flash, good clear, outside control, done. 2 kills to show for it. And this one's looking like another complete non-starter for 500. They've just got nothing.
Yeah. 6 in a row it's going to be now for Sashi. It's just clockwork, isn't it? The CT side. So it's so clean on outer. They see the smoke, Cypher nades it, sees there's not people crossing really fast, which is a threat when you see the smokes bounce like that. You knew it was thrown from close. Immediate flash, kills 2. Split was never going to work. Players can focus their attention on Squeaky and Hut. It is textbook Counter-Strike right now from the Danes. Given their coach, maybe we should have expected. They missed a smoke, 500.
It kind of looks like it. I think it still extends. It's just a different look. No, they've got enough of the smoke wall. It looked a little sketchy for a moment, but it's definitely worked out. Popov now, nice entry, and it's all been good. Who needs smokes? Especially because theirs actually did land.
Well, that was a different tune around.
Indeed, it was.
Sometimes some pretty good fights on outer. Sashi immediate save call. Bomb will go down here on inner soon, so pretty much perfect from the Bulgarians. They'll keep players alive, which is pretty handy as well, of course. And given how far away this hunt would be, I don't think it's on. So, we find ourselves in a pretty close game. Taking a while for 500 to find a round on this T side, but they have done it in some style.
Long road to go to break the eco, though. Money to spare, at least for the moment. Can they do it twice, Alan? Kill everybody outside. Kill
I
everybody outside.
I wouldn't expect the same fights to be presented. I would imagine Sashi will either put Lucky on a line or play more passive on outer.
Lucky,
so it has to be a slightly different opener, I'd have thought.
Deep util here, which 500 will respect. Lucky's waiting for that top silo player. Spots the one getting to Africa. Now coming around. Can't stay on. Wary of the mini peek. Good awareness from Lucky, but unable to squeeze out a shot means that they are able to get players down secret. So this is mission accomplished for 500. The difference for Sashi is they just haven't lost the bodies this time around. Rainwaker's the fly in the ointment of the retake.
Yeah. And keep in mind as well, Sashi have shown very little willingness to put numbers lower. It's just Cabby and he's gone. Just Cabby and he's gone. Siphon's on location now, but he's deep on ramp and he can't get a good duel. They have to save with his remaining players, so 500 seems to be solving the puzzle now. Get down secret, or at least get towards outer with numbers. Don't let Sashi play inner with numbers and go straight into them.
What's interesting to me, right, is it's okay, they were going for that deeper, more modern smoke wall. And Sashi were doing a great job of disrupting it, of getting information. We had nades in again and again that kept 500 from doing it. But this time they've gone for a classic. They've gone for, the 2-2-1 front of red box. And Sashi don't seem to have been able to adjust to stall them out. The reason why that's become less favorable is that it is actually easier to stall. You throw the Molotovs, even with the wimpy CT Molotovs, you can still stall them behind red box, get the info ticks, pop the smoke, and spam them down. But we haven't seen that. We haven't seen that from Sashi. I mean, Lucky had some opportunities. He spotted the player up top silo. He spotted the player slipping into Africa, had those chances to check on the jiggle, but never pulled the trigger. No. And then Sashi just never really got another chance.
I mean, it almost works to Sashi to 500's favor, showing a player under the silo, showing basically showing players outer that weren't going down secret. If I was Sashi, I would have really thought that was going to be an inner split with players trying to get through mini, and that would be wrong. So well orchestrated round from the Danes, from the Bulgarians, and Lucky. Change of location. Doesn't allow a player into Africa this time. Cirque's gone as well. But if you're going to try and play into that direction with this smoke wall, you obviously leave Garage exposed, and Lucky is reaping the rewards. That is how to adjust, isn't it? Perfect.
Tags on that iceberg. Oxygen. Give him a lot of praise in the first half. Need him to step up here, and he's able to do so. Open one up. That gives them a path towards lower. It's Iceberg who's rotating in, but Iceberg's already been tagged. Got to be wary about not going ahead of his teammates. They need the retake. Even if they have to concede the bomb plant here, they need the numbers on the retake. That's going to be the plant on down. Double gets open, but it's playing it safe for it. It all has to be oxygen. Oh! Adjusting for the double spray down, nearly gets it. Again, delivering a strong individual performance, but just no one from his team came along for the ride.
Yeah, still though, keeps Sashi's money honest. That was a 2v5 from 500 with no map control, and Oxygen just walks out ramp and absolutely annihilates the player in defense. So to get a plant, a couple frags, it's not too bad for 500. Got plenty of money in reserve. First hack pause being called. Who needs him when the coach is already on the server? Gets his say. But a quick discussion. Certainly advantage Sashi at the moment, but they haven't got massive money. They've got no loss bonus. If 500 can conjure up some gun rounds, they can force overtime at a minimum pretty quickly here.
I mean, we're getting the investment, right? So this feels like the map. Especially with the loss bonus being a little bit shaky. It won't be glorious for Sashi if they lose here, if they don't save guns. The chance is still wide open. Either way.
I bet they changed smoke wall.
They're going for the deeper one again.
Really?
For the 3 in the deeper, yeah.
Yeah. Not surprised. Don't allow a garage angle.
Here's the nade pops again, but this keeps the focus outside. So this is the adjustment from 500, right? You throw that deeper smoke wall, well, you're going to keep a couple of crosshairs outside to spam this and see if they can catch somebody going through. And that means, presumably, the ramp will be lighter. But as I say that, Lucky's actually, it looks like he's figured it out. Ops now posted on the angle. Gonna collect the first. Cabby's still tucked in the corner. That was the bomb! That was the bomb on Pop Bomb! Oh, no! So now the choke point util comes through. They have to brave it, and they know, but it's disjointed. They're not on the same page. Oxygen eventually gets the kill. He needs to retrieve that C4. He's going to chase the op, but Lucky's good for it. And a Rainwaker is left to try and pick up the pieces of a dashed round. Really huge round from Lucky. Not just about the 2 kills, but whoever had the awareness to call that rotation, whether that was just Lucky himself, perfect timing to reinforce ramp and secure that round.
500 can't believe it. They've said, let's change our smoke wall and deny information. Let's fake inner and ensure it's 1 ramp maximum, possibly 0 if the ramp player was first rotation for lower. And they go into 2 players, meet an absolute myriad of utility. They can't believe it. CT calling for Sashi. You've got to give them credit. Been pretty on point. They've been so stubborn with their rotations. And they are reading 500 like a book. I think there's only been 1 round or something in this entire half where they've been out of position. And now 2 map points. A mapper at the halftime. They looked frankly dead with Oxygen shredding them. About to get this done.
They're going to allow the lower play this time, though. And Cirque actually catches Lucky outside. Lucky's been a key piece of policing this, of getting this information. So Sashi will have the information to rotate 2 down lower, but they need the kills. They need the kills, and Iceberg will deliver them. Rainwaker in the clutch. How many times have we said this? Rainwaker, they leave him as their late round player. They leave him isolated from the pack. He's that lobby piece. But now he has to put this one together. Do or die for the Rainwaker.
Do Sashi know they have bomb?
I think they should, yeah.
I guess Cabby is playing safe, waiting for Altex, but as soon as Altex is on location, Rainwaker has very little wiggle room. And this smoke is just evil.
Actually covers off the bomb from his angle. Oh, no. I think that bounced a little bit too far back for him. Oh, this has actually worked out beautifully for Rainwaker. They have to adjust. This is very awkward now, but they're anticipating it and hearing that tick. Well, now they know. Bomb is down. Altex secures it. Defuse on. And Sashi, after a rough first half of play, secure their map pick of Nuke. They don't let this one slip by the wayside. That defense was just rock solid.
Heck of a map. You got to give them credit. That CT side was a completely different look. Completely different look from the T side. It was brilliant. It was on the same page. It was...
Well, when one of those highest performing individuals is subbed out for your coach, life is difficult, to say the least.
I feel like this... So obviously we spoke about how at the start how, 500, this 500 team doesn't have that many of the old guard.
Sure.
So I do wonder if with Popoff and SPELLAN, whether they're trying to play more strategically, have more depth than maybe some of these teams have historically.
Altex is getting a little frisky here up in apartments, and that is the way the hit's going to come. Cabby at Cat going to be his closest teammate to help him out. But Altex has to deliver here. Stays alive, that's important. Can stall this out, play under the window, now play off of Cabby. They know. They're wise to what he's trying to do, and Oxygen knocks down both targets. Oh boy, Oxygen starting out strong just as he ended on Nuke. 3 heads collected already, bomb planted, and Oxygen might just win this all himself. Looking for the ace at this point. Lucky, what do you want to try and do here? Talk about some clean shooting, Alan. I mean, just rocks out on the site, kills for 4.
Yeah, I mean, I thought he might want to take a break after map 1. Nope.
Nope.
Absolutely not. Holy cow. He is playing a series. You can imagine that's inspiring for his teammates. You said in the preamble, the amount of skill on this 500 team is, even in a top 20 setting, wouldn't be scoffed at. I mean, as an example, this 500 team, they're less skilled, but across, if you aggregate the team, they're not that much less skilled than a team like Eternal Fire. There's not that much in it. Of course, there's no Xantares level player here, but certainly if you remove him,
I was
really
going to say, yeah, if we remove one of the HLTV top 20 players of the year, that's a pretty big removal, Alan.
It might be. That said, Oxygen has played Xantares like CS so far in this series.
Number 15 player on the year, one of the best riflers in the world. Yeah, if we take him out, a comparison can be made. I'll allow your tomfoolery here.
It's just like what happens to Endpoint if you remove Mezzy, Flames, Nerds, and Heavy God. It doesn't go well.
It doesn't go well. Oh, Oxygen. Oh my god. Call him Xantares the way he be peeking. Oh my goodness. He's just rolling through. And at this point, players are smoked off. Zyphon can't really afford to peek with just an MP9 behind this. This is going to be a bomb plant. And I think this is going to be a round. I wouldn't blame Sashi for saving what little they have at this point, because this one seems to be settled business. And indeed, with that kill on Zyphon, it certainly should be. Do you want to test Oxygen right now? I don't think so. I don't think so. I wouldn't fancy it. And that's exactly why. This guy is unreal. Confidence is flowing. So Oxygen, number 15 player of 2025?
It seems like it at the moment. He's clearly not happy with what you said. Trying to prove a point. No kit here, so don't worry, guys. Won't be any more tomfoolery. And 500. They look like a team to me that's playing angry at the moment. They are not happy with that second half of Nuke. It's actually nuts that Cirque, SPELLAN, and Rainmaker don't have a kill and Ships has 1.
Bro, they don't need to. Saddle up Oxygen and ride to glory. I mean, did you see the last 2 rounds? The way he's entering is just full W key. Right? I mean, in the pistol round, they didn't even set him up. He just ran out and headshot everybody. In this round, he barely gets set up and runs out and headshots everybody.
He has 3 more kills than the rest of the server combined.
Yep.
That's ridiculous. Obviously, very early
Small
doors at the moment, but
it is just disgusting what he's been able to do. He's in apartment solo right now, so they're not just going to go for the fast hitter entry play. The rest of the team's trying to catch up. And, oh, no, Oxygen is still somehow collecting that kill. And another found. You can't keep this man down. Oh, I can't tell if he was spotted. The X-ray might have been misleading there. I thought his head might have been poking through that smoke, but it would have been unusual if it were. Both players rotating through CT, so Oxygen might be able to catch another. This time, no. Finally, he gets shut down. Finally! Somebody makes him pause, but still it puts Cabby into a 1v2 with no armor. At least a rifle to work with, but how does he want to try and cook this? Planning safe, player in Palace. As soon as the Palace player's there, this should be done. You don't need to fight him. You don't need to fight him. The Palace position should win it for you. Oh, I don't love Rain Wicker coming out ahead of this. This is actually the only way to lose, but he won't do so.
yeah, a little bit hairy. A little bit hairy. Finally, someone does Oxygen things to Oxygen. Still, though, it's 3-0 for 500. They kept a lot of players alive on the round before. There was a little bit of money in reserve.
He no longer has more kills than the rest of the server.
That is good to know.
They beat his total by 2.
Let's see if they can keep that up.
Okay, Zyphon getting aggressive here. How do you solve aggression? Well, you don't let them get in a position to do it. That's a nice way to do it. Good flashbangs. Very awkward from SPELLAN, frankly, just sort of being out.
Yeah, well, he thought he was going to have a
blind.
window smoke, but it didn't hit.
That does make life more difficult. Oxygen down before he can pull the trigger. That makes life a lot easier, and here's that lucky op impact we were talking about from Nuke. It's a world of difference when your opper is hitting shots like that. Cirque's going to play on the smoke fade. The bomb is committed, so there's really not a whole lot 500 can be expected to do here.
For those that missed 500's T side on Nuke, it's a bit like that. A bit disjointed. Sashi making all the right decisions. Very fast reactions from them. There was no way for 500 into this run. I don't know who missed that window smoke, but they are getting an earful at the moment. I do not doubt. The bomb is on a different continent. And ships, well, he could save. He could save and buy nades in the following. They'd love a plant, but that is not going to happen. I'm surprised he's not just committed to the save.
What? What?
Still, it's risky business, though. He's not going to die after time, but he's in enemy. He's not in safe waters right now.
To be fair, him getting that 1 kill is actually going to make, presuming they full save around this, his buy in the next much better. So there's something to be had for it. Just that extra $300 is kind of the difference between Galil and not.
What does this save you mean? What does this save you talk about?
Yeah, you're right. I'm an idiot. Why did I even say that? All right, we're back in. We're forcing. There's enough to put around this. There's some fangs in this. See if they can sink them in it to Sashi. And certainly as well, there's a big incentive to try to immediately shut down Sashi, prevent them from building up a bank. You don't want to have to whittle them down. You'd rather just end it right here now. This is going to be more straightforward. Flashbangs out. Oxygen go kill. Oxygen has been killed. So who else can deliver once Oxygen falters? That's the big question we have to answer now. Sturks found the 1. Good flash. Bang. Zyphon astoundingly lucky to be alive. Lucky will not be as much.
They've got smokes. They should pump the brakes here a little bit and use them. Flank is very early from Iceberg, but gets checked. This is not played out for Sashi at all.
The world's their oyster right now. SPELLAN just went to go check to see if he could get utility to make this life easier. Kabi's just trying to walk back in to establish control, and that's going to lose him his life. There's the trade. Very nicely played. Pumped the brakes, took that Tetris position. It didn't work out at first. They lost their entry, but they managed to deliver, and Cirque with 3 big kills is a big part of that.
It's like the whole round hinged around Lucky being stuck behind triple. He was too scared to fall towards CT. I'm not sure there was anybody Palace immediately that could hold him, but he was too scared to move. That's why another player came out from the bench by Jungle to try and take a fight, and it cost 2 players their lives in the end for Sashi trying to fight. Sometimes it is better to cut your losses and let a player die. It's harder to read that in the moment. Check out the CT setup though from Sashi. Solo B, 1 window, 3 on A. They're clearly putting numbers on that A side of the map, feeling it's a weakness. But do they pivot? As we get into this mid-round, there's been no reason so far to think it's going to be an A hit. And obviously, what we can see, a B split looks a heck of a lot more likely at the moment.
Oh, just a waste of a Molotov there. Valuable piece tossed right into the smoke that you just threw. Presumably that was meant to go a little bit deeper and clear out jungle. But instead, now we get Lucky collecting 1. And also getting a little bit of a tip-off that this is likely headed this direction. Gun model blocks it. Oxygen doesn't realize Iceberg was in the perfect spot to slip by unnoticed. And now he gets a second as well. Shuts down the cap presence. And this one is looking like a non-starter. Ships will catch all techs. But unless the bomb can link up with him, it's just not going to make a huge amount of a difference. Woohoo, Sir dinked. And will not be able to escape with that C4. That should be all she wrote. Ships will be pinched here. The window player, as soon as he hops down, can finish this one out. Or fire a warning shot and let Cabby take the kill.
They have a term in manufacturing, in factories, called just in time, where the previous piece gets made, then it's delivered, and then it's used in the next in the next formulation. And it's called just in time, where there's no slack. That was that round from Sashi. They stack A, they have a ramp push, just about get the info, then Lucky goes wide from CT and kills a player. He shoots him all the way through connector up onto catwalk. Just about buys some time for his B players and whittles down the numbers. Then the util goes down. It was 1 second later on that ramp push and they lose that round, but it was pitch perfect. Very well formulated.
Top mid presence denied. Anything in this round seems to be denied. We just have ships here in the smoke. The man who is not here on Nuke saying, man, maybe we should get Pop-Up back in here.
Feels a bit crude framing this series as brains versus brawn, but has sort of played out in that fashion, hasn't it?
It feels that way.
It definitely does feel that way.
It's literally like 500 have been most effective when they've gone for very simple, stripped down site takes, right? Go out and shoot people. These are 2 nice kills from ships. I want to specify, gets the bomb plant, gets money secured, gets 2 players killed, so that it's not a flawless round for Sashi. So you limit this bank a little bit, but it really does feel that way. When 500 have tried to go for this mid-control into site adjust, which is sort of the classic meta way to play Mirage right now, you take the mid-control with 3 or 4, you set up that presence, and then you sort of rotate depending on what the CT show you into which side of the map you want to hit, right? Keep your options open. Hasn't worked out that well for 500. When they hit something fast and go for the entries, go for the brawls, get things messy, that seems to be where they're having success, Alan. So, yeah, it does feel like the brawn, and then if you try and play that slower style, Sashi are figuring them out.
So for anybody wondering, of course, talked a little bit about the history of these Bulgarian teams, especially on Mirage. What they love to do was contact plays. They love to do simple rounds where, I don't know, they'd throw some mid nades and then walk out ramp and have players palace at the same time with a player lurking top mid, or they'd late kind of mid round walk out mid with numbers and try and get something done. Or the point is, as you kind of touched on, is simple. Not that many moving parts, somewhat leaning on individuals. Not to say there's not a plan, but You're reducing the number of variables, and you're allowing your individuals to take more fights. And maybe something from that philosophy could come in handy for them, because with all these rounds and the defaults and trying to take space and using a lot of util and trying to be smart, in the back of my mind, I can't help from think, let's just get Oxygen into some duels, because he's going to win them.
It's what you'd like to see. SPELLAN's had a tough time getting going here. That will not change here.
Why is Oxygen the B defaulter?
I don't know.
Of all the spots.
And then Rainwaker just tries to solo lurk out of smoke. This is signs that they are really struggling for answers. You have one player go out top mid, die. Your response is for Rainwaker to walk the palace smoke and unsurprisingly die. So now we're going to go into a B hit where Lucky is just posted down the line with that AWP. Better be a dang good flashbang on this one. If you kill him instantly, if he gets insta-dinked, there's not a quick rotate to this. So there could be some legs here. But that is a very big if. Here comes the flash. He does miss his shot. But if Lucky can stay alive, it's still very comfortable. Gets the smoke down immediately. He's being harassed. He's being harangued. He's still staying alive, though Iceberg not so much. And Lucky down. Here we go. We've got a round. Straightforward sight take. But Cabby wants to have something to say about this. Bomb will be planted, but Cirque is the lone survivor. Gotta clutch it up, and he will be unable to do so. Nice retake from Cabby. We're all tied up.
Still, though, it's around the fields close that probably shouldn't have been. We've got some big questions over this T side from 500. Let's take some pauses, guys. This round will be an eco, but this is a good round to pause and then use whatever you're calling for in the following gun round in 1 round's time. There's something to be said for simplicity. I'm not quite... I mean, for example, the previous round, I'm guessing SPELLAN thought he could get out mid without a problem. He couldn't. Definitely did not. Then Rainwaker must have thought mid was loaded with numbers when he walks Palace. It's needless is what it is. If you're going to deviate from the norm, which would be sending numbers out mid together, there's got to be a reason for that, and I'm not quite sure what it was.
Taps on out. All tax. We'll take the first, but Oxygen's able to trade it. Here's where we see Oxygen maybe come back into effect. They can get this bomb down. The limitations on the util still going to be challenging in the post. What can they do? Need that kill? Get it. Nicely done from Oxygen. He'll eventually be shut down, but 2 kills already. He's giving his teammates a chance. Problem is that bomb is wide out in the open. And they do not have the util to block sidelines. They just don't. Chips has just gotten a molly. Would have preferred that was a smoke. And Cirque's walking around jungle into his death. Player stuck in Palace. And it is only that player in Palace. Rainwaker, unable to do much from this position again. Sends Sashi into the lead. Look, they're making these rounds messy, Alan. But they just can't get it over the line.
Credit though to Iceberg. That's one of those rounds, one of those plays. It would never be in a highlight reel. Didn't look flashy, but he took command. He pushed out a CT there and took space before they could get the bomb down in a 3-on-2 and have good afterplants. Massive round when Sashi very likely would have lost. Yeah, let's keep tabs on these calls now from 500. So what have we got this round? Top mid smoke, window smoke, 3 towards A, 1 top mid, 1 under. So it's going to be an A split at some point. Where are the smokes? 9 is SPELLAN. So they got 1 smoke in mid, and that's on ships in underpass. So getting more control from here won't be easy. They really need a smoke for connector and a smoke for window. They'll have to challenge at least 1 position dry. They won't have a choice.
First player drops. Oxygen out of play. Cirque's got to deliver instead. The young gun out of the server. Rainwaker again tagged up, trying to poke his nose out of the Palace. And you've lost SPELLAN in mid. You do have ships through the window, so this is the different element, but Iceberg seems to be aware. He's certainly watching for it. But they're going to try and rotate back into this B play.
Yeah, Cabby's low. Iceberg probably will get pulled if it is a B hit, and that could allow ships to pick off a rotator.
That's what you need. Cabby doesn't have any stall util either, just one molly. And we know what those CT mollies are like now.
Surprised how static this is from the CT side. With Cabby this low, I feel like they should be moving around more.
Well, Cabby's still going to be able to deliver one. Oh, the knife out. I mean, Cabby's won it for them. But the knife out's a questionable decision there from Zyphon. Just maybe thinking it was a full 3 hit, not realizing, losing track of it. But Cabby, he has certainly delivered and then some.
I genuinely don't think I've seen somebody play that spot for like 6 years. And that's not an exaggeration.
It's a good spot when you're low.
It's 6 years ago, we were running that in collegiate CS games. Better times, man.
What
Better
spot did
times.
you play, Alan?
This half from 500. How many full buys have there actually been? There's been so many of these haphazard kind of, oh, we're in a bad spot, we'll have to invest sort of things.
They've just missed the con smoke, I think. The window smoke has landed. I guess it's an underpass smoke by design. Oxygen out for one. Altex down below. But he is traded, so man advantage here for 500. The question is, can you get past this next rung? Smoke for jungle? Smoke for jungle.
Nothing for connector, though.
Smoke popped. Gonna get nervy. Rainwaker. Lucky to get away with that one. It kind of has to be Iceberg here. Oh boy, SPELLAN, that's huge. Playing ahead of the smoke. Actually giving them a real chance at this one, and yeah, okay, we are done. Hit A enough times, and eventually something will give.
We were calling for some simplicity. Certainly was a pretty simple round. I think it's fair to say that Altex has been isolated a lot from his teammates in this half. Get more used to people, you know, default or CT and staying alive and waiting for the rotation. It's been quite a lot of rounds of Altex being up close and getting kind of separated from his teammates. Problems following from there. You can see the adjustment in this round is Sashi have gone two players under balcony. Altex will take first contact. Even if he dies, Cabby could go unchecked. When does he come into play? He's still under balcony. He's trigger disciplining. He's not shooting SPELLAN. He's waiting for a second player. SPELLAN's now gone. And they're spamming the smoke. Oh, this is so on a knife edge. It's so late. I can't believe he's actually found two. I thought he was dead. I thought he was so dead. Oh, to the half. That was crazy.
that's so overrated. Yeah. If you make one, you will fall. Too much of a temptation. Yeah. There's a comfort in the crawl. Now I've been on my feet too long. I know I'm strong, just looking for some solid ground, so I can start to run. I don't wanna be.
Into the second half here. A little bit of closer scoreline, perhaps, than the individual rounds would indicate. Sashi took a minute to get their feet under them, as it was the oxygen show at the beginning. But that quickly dissipated, as it felt like 500 did not have many answers to the Sashi defense. Let's see. I can get the feedback onto them here on the CT side. 3 players up the underpass. That is unusual, to say the least. Rainmaker is watching for this, but here comes the duel. He struggled mightily in the first half. Now here playing Catwalk. It's a strong position, and Rainmaker is going to be chiming in for one, but only the one. They're coming A. This is the reinforced site, and oh boy, SPELLAN tries to hold his trigger discipline to no effect. Bomb will go down. It is that madman Oxygen who survives. But a 1v4 is required of him, and that bomb now planted and ticking away. Certainly no kit to be had. But life just now. Iceberg misses the goosh, and that might be enough to give him a chance at this. Gotta go fast. And there's no reason for them to peek him. They can wait for the tap on that bomb, so he knows he has to isolate some fights. Does a great job on the first. Lights out here. Was a dominant first in that first half pistol. Let's see if he can do it again. Lucky on the default box. Swinging, buying time, baiting, just trying to stall, and eventually finding the headshot required to send Sashi through to 8.
They're getting it done. I tell you what, if 500 loses this series 2-0, Oxygen is going to look at some of his teammates and say, what more did you want? I have played a phenomenal series. Yet, the brains are beating the brawn. Sashi continue making good decisions. Cavi has come alive in the last five or so rounds. And they're not far now from winning this series. Where's Rainwaker been?
In Palace, this map. Mostly. He's dead in this one, but Oxygen. Oh boy, Oxygen. Might just be him. Fortunately, him might not be enough. Might need some more day. As the teammates need to activate here. Ships has found an AK. And Ships will put that AK to great effect. So now with 2-on-2 players coming up. Catwalk. They've got these fights. Ships tagged low. Just a USP on SPELLAN as well. If they can close the distance with that MAC-10, it's big trouble on. And that rifle down. It all falls to one man at the van. And he cannot hold off the onslaught of Iceberg.
Did that molly just bounce off the van and up onto the little platform? Because I'm pretty sure it did.
Look, accidentally theory crafting new nades.
Anders would be happy with that.
Send him the clip. Send him the clip, boys.
I look forward to the NART video on that lineup.
Iceberg throws this Molotov that bounces off the back panel of van and perfectly Molotovs off the balcony.
Actually, a half-bad impression.
Look, we've all seen a million of the clips. At this point, it's ingrained in my brain.
Heavy mid lane to start off with 500, but you can see immediately seeing nothing. They're convinced it's elsewhere, and Cabby is going to pull only more rotations. I'm watching this window boost and wondering if they can find space. I think they're unlucky. I think it was the perfect call. Just unfortunate the Rainmaker was in ladder and not up on catwalk. Oh, Oxygen needs to save his team right now.
Cirque. Might be that man to step up in the dearth of oxygen. Oh, boy. But indeed, it's going to have to be SPELLAN, who has had not the greatest luck individually here. His opponents are so low. They're so low. Just breathe on Xiphon and he's gone. But unfortunately, the same holds for SPELLAN. It's basically one bullet to finish any one of these players, and it'll come from the barrel of Altex's MAC-10.
This is rough.
Well, something doesn't change very quickly here. We are going to be seeing the 2-0, because 500 have just looked completely out of their depth here on Mirage, which is bizarre, because it has been their bread and butter for
you
so
think of,
long.
You know, of all the maps where there wouldn't be a systemic collapse, it's got to be this.
Yeah.
Surely.
This is just very odd, frankly. Seems like we are getting a little bit of applause here, so maybe it's a technical issue going on.
Let's have a thought experiment, Mike.
Okay.
Let's say I removed the nameplates from 500 in this series, and I told you that one of map 1 or 2 was played with the coach standing in. Would you think it was Nuke or Mirage that had the coach standing in? Because I think they're playing worse CS here.
Yeah, I would tend to agree. You've basically had two players who have had next to no impact. So, yes, I would tend to agree. And they both play critical positions, right? You have SPELLAN, who's consistently the space taker in towards mid in that first half, which is it's very hard to win Mirage if you can't take any space in towards mid. And then you have Rainwaker just getting nothing done in that Palace lurk. Like it feels bad to single out two players, but it is just true. These are two positions where if you've got no juice in them, it's really hard to get anything done on this map. It is just
if you want to win with the brawn, you got to bring it.
Yeah.
You can't just be one man.
So I would tend to agree with you. This has been disastrous. We've had these flashes from Oxygen, but even if you think about the rounds, they were just Oxygen killing everybody. It wasn't even that they were setting him up. Rainwaker gone for nothing. Just a dry peek out in towards mid without realizing how far they had gotten up. He is dead.
Am I hearing some frustration in your tone?
It feels like there's just a shocking lack of awareness from Mirage, which is just bizarre for, again, these players I'm sure have played just a million maps of Mirage in a team environment and another million maps in Pugs, and it's looking very odd. I don't know. It feels like one of those situations where maybe there's chaos in the comms, maybe players are shutting down a little bit, but that just shouldn't be happening for 500 on this map of all maps. It's a prayer from Oxygen. But this is dumb. They've got
the Iceberg's like, no.
There's just no need to do anything.
Back for the fight.
Hold on. 2 guns. Bomb down. Shouldn't be around. And Oxygen just is a MAC-10 too, so it's not even anything really for him to save. So they're going to try. Desperation stations here, and shockingly, it's not going to go well.
That AK was a value. Oh, well.
Circle having up.
I'm right thinking there's only been one tack as well. It certainly hasn't been many for 500.
I don't think there was a tack.
Yeah, I think you're right. It was just a tech pause, wasn't it?
It was indeed a tech pause.
They just don't... Well, it's hard to know from the outside, but they don't feel like they're fired up to me.
Oh. This is a tough one. Altex, nice opener. It's good damage the other way, but 3 players have now dropped on out. So it's left to the usual suspects, Oxygen and Cirque, to try and do anything about this. Cirque will be able to chime in with that AWP. But this could be it. This could be it. This would be series point, map point. And now it is just Cirque with that AWP and full desperation on the table. Somehow alive for the moment. Doesn't even have a kit, though I think one might be dropped. But he will never get a chance to consider the possibility of a defuse. This is a merciless from Sashi. Yeah. They won that pistol, and they just never looked back.
I don't blame Oxygen and Cirque for trying that retake.
You have
7 in a row would have been way too much.
And I mean, we've seen consistently, you can't rely on the A-hold to hold up. So you've got to go for something.
Yeah. And equally from the Sashi perspective, I mean, it's crude, but why not just head the way of SPELLAN? He's having a rough game. 4 Spy is bleak. Util is sparing. Rifles are actually okay for this CT side, but their aggression has to work because they can't play a retake with this.
They're going to have all the information, which means that they're hedging the third player over. Oxygen's already getting in, but he's got an MP9. He's not going to want to stick around and ticket. Ooh, they actually expected this push back out underpass, but it works out for Ships. Traded, though. But look at SPELLAN. SPELLAN's gone all the way through apartments. Can he catch this top mid player? He should do. This should be a free kill. How does he not get that? How? He was looking the wrong way. That is inexcusable.
I can't. I can't. That has to be game over.
Yep. It has to feel that way. 3 players are on the right side. They're hitting the stack side. All the bodies are here. Oxygen's close up on the corner. Can he get this kill? Yes, on the first. Traded instantly, though. Circ gone as well. It all falls to Rainwaker. Stuck in the sandwich. And a headshot will finish as he's cowering in a corner. 13-5. Utter domination coming through from Sashi on Mirage. We were thinking if there was any map where 500 were going to be competitive, it would be Mirage. But they came out just looking completely meek, like a shadow of themselves. And outside of some individual brilliance, there was just